Mr. Gajendra Chauhan's appointment as the chairman of the Film and Television Institute of India has led to a lot of anger and resentment. The students at the Pune school are on a strike protesting Mr. Chauhan's appointment and that of others to the governing council. They believe these people do not make the cut. Let us begin with the easier parts of this discussion. First, are Mr. Chauhan or the other nominees qualified for the positions? Clearly, the government thinks so. It does not need a lot of acuity to conclude that even if one leaves aside their political inclination, the nominated members are not the most meritorious. But presumably, they qualify as being eminent, a word that in its provenance merely means someone who sticks or stands out. Or unknown to us all, the nominees belong to the field of agriculture, foreign affairs, health, or perhaps one of them is an expert on intrauterine devices. After all, an expert in family planning is also supposed to be nominated as a member. No, this is not a joke. The 1974 Memorandum of Association that turned a subordinate office, and yes, the word is a subordinate office in the document, of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting into FTII, provides for membership to the FTII society on these very grounds. There is also this other matter, which is easier to dispose of. Do students in any educational institute have a right to determine who heads it? The answer is a simple no, unless the laws so provide. And if the Memorandum of Association of the institute is anything to go by, the INB ministry has a right to decide who, from agriculture, family planning, or television, gets to be a member. So those who signed on to be students of this educational institute that has ministry bureaucrats running it have no business going on a strike when their academic training has not been affected. But then these are trivial questions when it comes to the FTII. The key question is, why should the INB ministry be running an educational institution? Anyone who cares to look at the 5 enumerated functions of the INB ministry knows that it is the propaganda arm of the Indian state. Not for nothing does its functions include keeping people informed about government's policies, motivating people for developmental activities of the government, liaising with state governments, and that classic public relation function of serving as a constant link between the government and the press. What is this ministry doing running a film school unless it wants trained personnel for its propaganda efforts? Well, it goes back to the state's desire to use films and television for nation building. Not for nothing do we have people from agriculture and family planning needed as members of the FTII society. The very idea of such an institution in today's time is an anachronism. A film school belongs within an educational institution where the students can step out of their disciplinary ghettos and learn from others. If at all someone wants to run a film school as a training school, let them do it on their own dime. We should not have an educational institution under the oversight of a ministry that is in itself an anachronism in a democracy. About time, this one-time subordinate office of the INB ministry and now a society running under its aegis be disbanded as an educational institution. Central universities should open film schools and departments. Let there be greater budgetary support for such departments as they set up the necessary infrastructure, and let there be as many film schools as there are other departments. And, most importantly, let there be a greater diversity of filmmakers than the chosen 10 every year, perpetuating a scarcity that is as noxious as it is idiotic. And as for those teary-eyed alumni, let Films Division, another of those arms of the propaganda ministry, commission some requiems, and let Mr. Chauhan and others be found other suitable sinecures.